Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get-together live here on Facebook, where we examine headlines from our city, our state, and our country, and we take a look at your comments, ideas, and suggestions on how to best connect with our city, Puerto Vallarta, as a community of English-speaking locals. Today is Tuesday, April 11th, and for 2 days in a row, it's been really weird because I schedule our broadcasts to start at 10:30 as usual, and 2 days in a row Facebook has decided to advertise them 1 hour later. I suppose this must have something to do with the fact that Mexico doesn't change time anymore, but other countries do. What can I tell you? We're always here at 10:30 in the morning, live on Facebook, 10:30 local time. As always, we welcome all of you who are joining us live this morning, and particularly those of you that are joining us live for the first time. If that is your case, we would love to give you a nice little welcome. We can do that if you write the word new in your comment, and we'll give you a nice hello. If there is something really important that you wish to share with us, it helps a great deal if you add a capital letter Q, and we'll be looking for those capital letter Qs during the comment section. Today, we have more news about Puerto Vallarta as a beach destination. We have news about 2 local piers, and we have another airline that went bankrupt. And what else do we have? Well, we have all kinds of things. In fact, let us just get started with the news. Let me set this up for you, and I think we're good to go. Puerto Vallarta has once again taken the top spot when it comes to beach destinations in Mexico, with the highest hotel occupancy numbers of the country. According to the Secretary of Tourism, during the week of March 27 to April 2nd, or right before Semana Santa, Puerto Vallarta enjoyed an 87% hotel occupancy. Los Cabos took the second place with 86.7%, and Cancun took the third with 82.7%. This also means, by the way, that Puerto Vallarta has maintained one of the first top 3 spots when it comes to hotel occupancy at beach destinations in Mexico since the beginning of the year. Great news for Mexico. Tribuna de la Bahía reports that construction of the new pier at Boca de Tomatlán is progressing, and it's now at about 60% from being completed, and that is expected to be ready during the second half of June. This is the first pier in the state of Jalisco that is being built with the new maritime connectivity model announced by Governor Alfaro last year. And when it is completed, it will be 40 meters long by 3 meters wide, with an investment of 30 million pesos. We'll have news and a closer look at another pier after the weather. But first, another Mexican airline goes bankrupt. A federal judge has declared that Interjet is now officially bankrupt and has ordered the auction of all its assets. You may recall that the airline stopped flying in 2020 and went on strike in 2021. In a separate note, but related, Mexico's Federal Consumer Protection Bureau, or Profeco, warns against hidden charges when purchasing airplane tickets from budget Mexican airlines such as Viva Aerobus, recommending that you pay close attention when purchasing tickets online for additional charges that usually appear right before you hit the purchase button and that can often be eliminated with just a single click. And that is what we have for big news today. Let us take a quick look at the weather forecast just to see what's happening out there. We will always have the original Mario movie, says our snarky weatherman, and I have to put the weather on the screen. There you go. 26 degrees right now. It feels like 26. Humidity is at 43%. Our temperature in Fahrenheit degrees is 79, and our weather forecast for today says clear skies through the day with a high of 30 and a low of 17. Tomorrow, Wednesday, clear skies in the morning with mostly cloudy skies in the afternoon with a high of 29 and a low of 17. And of course, Thursday, we will have mostly cloudy skies with a high of 29 and a low of 17. Now, moving right along, I want to talk about pet-friendly businesses for a second. This is an informational, there you go, informational news item that I found this morning that questions whether pet-friendly businesses in Puerto Vallarta are officially regulated or not. Well, apparently they're not, despite the fact that an increasing number of hotels, restaurants, shopping malls, and department stores are placing pet-friendly banners on their premises. This does not mean that anybody is likely to get shut down for welcoming our furry friends into their premises anytime soon. It is simply the case that there are no specific rules in Puerto Vallarta's commerce laws that pertain to pets and that address the potential health risks to them and to their human counterparts. The only thing that is mentioned in this news note, and this news note was an interview done with local health authorities, is that we would come to expect, or we would expect that business owners that allow pets into their premises have the commitment or moral, what is the word? I don't know what the word is in English. That, it is up to pet business owners that allow pets in their premises to be particularly cautious about cleanliness and so forth and so on. So again, this is not a matter of you being concerned about whether you allow dogs or other pets in your business or not. This is not about anybody coming and shut you down. But it is about being mindful of the fact that allowing pets in a business or having pets close to food and things like that simply is something to be concerned about. And that's it. No need to worry, no need to panic, no need to nothing. Moving right along, Mexico won big accolades again for the second year in a row at the Photography World Cup. And yes, there is such a thing. Mexico has taken top accolades in several categories, and I'm going to show you the link so that you can see the images that won from Mexico in the show notes. We don't have time to look at the images here. Actually, I don't have time simply because I did not start preparing this morning's broadcast early enough. But I do want to show you part of the images that I took yesterday after the broadcast. I was treated to a wonderful escapade on the water. I was taken off my element to go on a harbor cruise with some friends. And this gave me the opportunity to not only take a look at Puerto Vallarta from the water, something that I hadn't done in a long time, but also gave me the opportunity to see what is going on at Los Peines Pier. You may recall that several months ago, when the new pier at Boca de Tomatlán was announced, authorities also announced that they would do some construction of or improvements in the Los Peines Pier, which is located right behind the Maritime facilities near the Maritime terminal. Now, this pier has been officially used, or maybe unofficially, and maybe that was part of the problem, by fishermen for decades. And when it was announced that it was going to be improved to allow for more commercial vessels, of course, the local fishermen community got a little panicky, but negotiations prospered between authorities and the fishing community, and everything seems to be moving forward. And of course, because the vessel that I took, or that I went on yesterday, left from Los Peines, I was able to take some photographs that I'm going to show you. This is what the entrance to the back of the Maritime Bank look like. And it is closed to the public. I don't know exactly what is going to be laid out where. All I know is that what authorities have announced is that there's going to be a commercial area where vessels will be able to dock here. And we're talking, of course, of smaller vessels. Needless to say, the big terminal will continue to be about the large cruise ships and whatnot. But one of the things that is characteristic of Los Peines Pier, if you've ever been there, is that there is a gazillion iguanas hanging out. And this is not surprising. Why? Because there's all kinds of small vessels that come and go from this particular spot. And there's always food. There's always food, and there's always garbage. And let's see, in this photograph, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 iguanas just hanging out and enjoying the sun. This is part of the way the new floating docks are starting to look like. In the background of the image, you can see Puerto Mágico, and that is where the big cruise ships dock. And here is another view of the new facility, which again is now in progress. I took a short video so that you could take a look at it. And as you can see, part of the new facilities is ready. I remember reading that there's going to be commercial areas. There's going to be shops and whatnot, but we don't know exactly what is going to happen there, or whether this will be available for us to be able to saunter around. When I went on this cruise yesterday with friends, there's a lot of securities. There's a lot of security going on. Your personal items are inspected. Oh, and you have to pay for the privilege. There's a tax. There's like 30-something pesos that you have to pay every time you go on a boat on this pier. And I think that is expected. And here's another view of the same general area. Again, it's work in progress, and it's going to be really, really beautiful once it is completed, or that's what I'd like to believe. Yesterday's cruise was provided by a local vessel called the Ada, and it was absolutely spectacular. Whether it is on a luxury bay cruise, or whether you are on a water taxi, or whether you have your own vessel, it really is a rite of passage to be able to have the privilege to look at our city from the ocean, because it is a view that we don't get to see frequently, unless, of course, you are on a boat. And the challenge with water taxis is that they're going quickly from one place to another. So when you are taken away in a private vessel, you get that beautiful view. And I would imagine this is definitely one of those things that you don't call yourself a local until you've had the pleasure of looking at our city from the ocean. And this brings us, of course, to our comment section, to see what everybody is about this morning. Let us take a quick look. I see good mornings. I see a couple of good afternoons. This must be from West Coasters. Hello, David. It's always great to read you. Let's see what else we have. Let's see. I'm sorry some of you think Facebook is playing games with you. Again, not much I can do about that from my end. Jeannie reports red tide in Mismaloya Bay today. Thank you very much for that. Let's see. I can appreciate this. Grateful that our cats would be horrified to be brought to a restaurant or store. I don't think Luna would take to that kindly either. Oh, thank you very much for such a nice remark, Joe. I love when you show the behind the scenes, like switching scenes live. It's like we are in the show. Sure appreciate all the hard work and research you and Luna do. Thank you very much for that. It is as simple as turning on a little button over here and just switching from one scene to another. Again, by the way, this little switching new box was a donation from Daniel House, who is a cluster member, and we are eternally grateful to Daniel because we are now able to manage the show more effortlessly. As you know, Coffee and Headlines is a community-sponsored, community-supported project. So every time you buy us a coffee, or every time you pursue membership to Coffee and Headlines, you empower me to be able to provide you better information and content here. Let's see what else we have. I can't get the location of that new pier. Can you show it on the Google map? It is right next to the Maritime terminal, Paula. I'm sure that if you Google Los Peines, you should be able to find it without a problem. Let's see what else. Oh my goodness. Logan, I can't believe your family visit is over sooner than, I mean, it seems like they just arrived yesterday. And I'm so glad that you had an opportunity to charge your family batteries. Deb gives feedback about the ADA, which gives a wonderful experience of the bay and their lunch. I would absolutely have to agree with you. There are a number of cruise ships out there that give you access to the beach, and I mean access to the bay. And this was my first trip aboard the ADA, and the crew was fantastic. The experience was completely pampering, and I would totally recommend them if you ever wanted to go on a cruise around the bay, a private one, because of course there are huge, more touristy driven vessels that you can pursue, but this is definitely one of those things that you have to do at least once in a lifetime. And this, of course, brings us to, where is my button? There it is. This brings us to the end of today's broadcast. I hope this was interesting for you. And as always, we thank you for your comments, your ideas, your suggestions. We thank you for sticking around. And we thank you for supporting Coffee and Headlines. We'll be back tomorrow. We are now going to get busy to get ready for our lecture on Thursday, which we will tell you more about tomorrow as a reminder. So have a great day, and I will see you again soon.